Cooking with Nora. Happy Cinco de Mayo! In celebration, today I'm going to be making one of my family's favorite traditional meals, and that is beef enchiladas. Along with that, I will also be making some Spanish rice and some Mexican beans. Alright, so here we have 4.5 pounds of ground beef. It is lean, so I shouldn't have that much oil in it, or I should say fat. We're going to put this in our pan. Our pan is already hot. Okay, we done broke it down some. And now we're going to add our seasonings. I have some ground cumin. Just add some, and this is to taste, okay? Remember, it's 4.5 pounds. Some salt, regular salt. 4.5 pounds, so it's a little more than what I would make if I was making a different meal. This is some garlic powder and some pepper. We can always add some more later if we need it. Now let's mix. Alright, while this is going, we're going to add a half of an onion, a raw onion. You can add more if you want, but I'm just adding a half. If you don't have onion, you can add onion powder. Or if you don't want to add onion, don't add it. It's your preference. Alright, so this is, this has some fat. You see it? You see all that oil? And I'll probably scoop out, or spoon out, all of this right here. We're just going to let it cook a little longer. I'm going to start scooping some of this fat out into a mug. If you have a jar sitting around, you can use that. Look at that oil. A whole cup. So I tasted the meat. It needs a little more seasoning. I'm going to add some seasoned salt. And mix it. We are done with our meat. Now we're going to set it to the side and move on to the next step. Next thing we're going to do is make our rice. We added some oil. Here, I'm trying to be more precise on my measurements for you. Here we have a cup of rice. Let's see what it looked like. I never measure my food. I could add a little more. I'm going to use the rest of what's in my bags. So probably another, it's almost a half of a cup. So about a cup and a half of rice. So we're going to toast our rice, and we want a what we want is a golden brown color on our rice. It's going to smell like popcorn. It's going to smell really good. But you got to keep moving it so it doesn't burn on you. It's on medium heat. And we're just going to watch it. We're going to let it turn a golden brown. Okay, my color is almost where I want it to be. I want it a little more. So before we get to where I want the color to be, I'm going to add a half of an onion. You can add more or less. I'm just adding a half of an onion. And mix it up. Keep moving it. I'm going to go ahead and add my water. Be careful, it's going to splash, okay, or the steam is going to come up, so step back when you add your water. And watch your hand, the hand that's pouring the water in. So when that steam comes up, it can burn you. I'm going to turn it up a little more on a medium high. It's a lot of rice, so I'm going to add more water. Now I'm going to add, now I cut up a few pieces of bell pepper. So I'm going to add that. You can add jalapenos if you want, or whatever you want to put in there. This just gives it a pretty color and doesn't taste bad. Okay, now for my seasonings, caldo de tomate. I'm going to add a heaping teaspoon. Let me do 2. Some Cumin. And this is to taste. And then we're going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to give it a good mix. I'm going to add a little bit more of the caldo de tomate, the Lawyr. Give it a mix again. Let me taste it. It's coming to a boil. Okay, now this is where we want to cut it down and cover it. But let's see first. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to cover this up and leave it alone. You know what? Let me add a little more water, because the rice is right up underneath the water. We want a little more water. Because that rice is going to soak that water up. Give it a mix again. Cover it and leave it. Don't touch it. Y'all, check out these beautiful, delish beans I made earlier today. I made these early this morning so I could have them ready for my meal this afternoon. Charro beans. So they have bacon, tomato, cilantro, onions, and my seasonings. I have a video up on my YouTube list. So go there and see how I made my charro beans. And I'm going to add one more thing, which are some jalapenos. Let me get to that. This is what I'm going to use for my jalapenos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only took like 5 little pieces out, and I already cut them up, and I'm going to stick that in my beans. So this will be enough to give it a tiny kick. So you can add that to your beans if you like. And here we are. We're going to add our jalapenos, the ones we just chopped up. Just a little bit. And give it a mix. Feel free to add more if you like. That's enough for my family. It's starting to bubble up on the sides. I need to get myself positioned right. Once we get going, we're going to be going. Drain a little. And put it on our napkin over there. Another one. And we're going to keep doing this over and over until you get to however many enchiladas you want. I have a lot of meat, so I'm going to make quite a bit. Just go back and forth. Drain. And then lay it on your napkin. Don't toast it too much, because if you do, when it's time to eat your enchiladas, they'll be hard to cut through because you have toasted them a little too much, especially on the edges of the tortilla. We just want them soft. That way, when it's time to roll them, they will roll easy. and they won't come undone. Some people use flour tortillas. I don't. I never have. But, you know, it's whatever you like. Alright, we're going to keep doing this. We'll be back. Alright, we're down to the last ones. I thought I had more corn tortillas. So I only got me a small pack of 24. It don't take long to cook these. I'm about done now. So yeah, so I'm only gonna make these. I wish I had more. I would have made more, but that's okay. I can make some tomorrow. Some more if we need more. And now we're getting ready to do the next step, guys. All right, let's check in on this rice. I've had it on low. But look at that. You got the peppers, the bell peppers on top, and you got the onions. It's done. By looking at it, I can tell it's done. Yes, sir. All right. We got that done. We got our meat done. Now, let's roll up these tortillas and make our enchiladas. All right, so I got me a big old, it's like a big old industrial pan. But you can use whatever you have at home. What I do is put my tortillas over on the side because they are hot. And this allows them to cool down for a second until I'm ready to roll them. If not, you're gonna have some burnt up fingers. Now this pan's probably too big because, like I said, I didn't use a bunch of tortillas. All right, let's start rolling. Can you see? We got our meat over here. And I'm just gonna put some in one. Grab it. Kind of tuck it in with your fingers. And then roll it. Try to roll it tight. I know it's hot. And that crease goes on the bottom. Okay, so it doesn't unroll. Let me do it again. Put a little meat. Now you can add cheese in here if you want. Or I'm going to have a lot of meat left over. Or you could cook some chicken up. Make you some chicken enchiladas. Whatever kind of meat you want. If you just want cheese, just put some cheese in there, roll it up. Roll it. They are hot. So, you got the idea. Roll it tight on that meat. Whatever falls out here onto the side, I just tuck it in. Stick it in one of them rolls. And because we have a lot of meat, I could go ahead and stuff them. Kind of big, kind of thick. It's like be a little hearty. I'm going to continue to do this until we're right at the end. I'll be back. Alright, y'all. Just wanted to give you another angle of how I roll these up. Put your meat. Bring it on in. Now, fold it over and roll. Right here where this end is, that's where you're going to stop. You're going to stop right on top of it and then bring it with the rest. I just wanted to show you that part because if you don't stop it right on that crease, right there where it stops, then it can unroll on you, and you don't want that. Then you'll have a big mess. That's all I wanted to show you. Now we're gonna add our enchilada sauce. I buy this kind, the mild one. If you get the red one has a red chile on here. That's more spicy, so I get the green one. It's more mild. And I have, this is a medium can, because I think they come bigger. But anyway, I also have a small can. I always have extras, just in case, because like I said, I'd rather have enough than not enough. So I pour it over. I might have enough with just this can. Like I said, normally I make a lot more, but you get the idea. Now we want to add our cheese. This is Fiesta blend. This one has Monterey Jack, cheddar, queso, quesadilla, and asadero cheese. Just different kind of cheeses. Now you can make it as cheesy as you like. My oven is on already. It's on 350. I'm gonna put it in there for about 10 minutes, maybe. Because everything's cooked. We just want this cheese to melt. About 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna change it to broil so we could get this top part. Okay, it's been in here for 8 minutes. Now we're going to put it on broil, put it on this top rack, and let that cheese melt real good. Here go our enchiladas. It was on broil low, and just keep an eye on them. It only took a few minutes. Alright, so I decided to make some guacamole real quick. Take your pit out. When you put it in the seed, just twist it. Take it out. Now for this part, you know how before I showed you this is how you take the slices out? Well, because we're making guacamole, now I'm going to go the other way. This already gives you a head start on it being not smushed up, but you know, less work. Especially if your avocado isn't as soft. I'm going to scoop it out right quick. Trying to hurry up for you. Now we're going to do the same thing to the next avocado, and I'll be back. See how your avocados are already in little squares? So yeah, you don't have to really go get in there with the fork and smush it, because it's already kind of done for you when we sliced it up like that. I am going to add a handful, not even a handful, of tomatoes, a squeeze of lime, cut it in half. We're going to add a little bit of cilantro. And we're going to add some salt and pepper. Very little. Very little salt and some pepper. Now give it a good mix. And make sure you taste it. Add whatever you need to add to it. As you're mixing it, you see how it's already becoming mixed real good. Here we have it. We have our traditional Spanish meal. Our beef enchiladas, Spanish rice, our charro beans, and our guacamole. I also have a juice to go with it. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for me. I would really appreciate it. Have a blessed day.